Good morning, students. Welcome to OOC class. Okay. So today we'll be discussing or we'll be starting with our module 5. So module 5 is related to event handling, and another component that is involved in your module 5 is nothing but swings. So in module 5, you have two important concepts that has to be discussed. One is nothing but your event handling, and another concept is nothing but your swings. So in today's class, we'll try to understand what exactly your event handling is. So once we finish with event handling, so next we are going to proceed with the swings concept. Okay. So with this thing, we'll move on to the first thing. So now in general, whenever you want to develop Java applications, there are basically two types of Java applications which can be developed. One is nothing but a standalone Java application. Second category is nothing but a distributed application. So basically, these are the two different types of application what we can develop using your Java. One is standalone application. Second one is a distributed application. So now for understanding the concept of your event handling, now what in this particular slide I've taken is assume that okay, we want to develop standalone application. Assume that we want to develop standalone application. So in Java, so what are the different ways in which you can develop the standalone application is one way is nothing but using your say character user interface, or can be called as a command line interface. The second way how you can develop your standalone application is nothing but your GUI application. So what does your GUI stands? Graphical user interface. GUI stands for graphical user interface. So whenever I ask you to develop the program in Java, so there are the two different methods. One is nothing but your character user interface or command based interface. Second one is nothing but a GUI application. Now, what exactly your character user interface or command user interface applications in Java? So usually what we do, if I ask you to develop a program in Java, so basically you write some program inside a file and save that particular file using a particular name, say for example add.java. Yes or no? We write a file, you create a file, write some code in that particular file, save that particular file using, say for example add.java. So now whenever you want to once you saved your program, what's the next step you're going to do? You need to compile your Java program. So how do we compile? Using your Java C compiler, correct? Using your Java C compiler, you're going to compile your program. Now, once no errors are there, so what you do, what is the next step you're going to do? You're going to run your program. So how do you run this particular add.java program? Java followed by name of the program, that is class file is nothing but the add. Right. So now whenever you're developing this particular application, basically whatever I am basically using, I'm also running almost all the Java application at the command prompt. So I am also using your CUI or command based in order to run your program. So whenever we run a command something like this, when I give a run command like this on the command prompt, basically it asks me the input value. Now where should I enter the input values? I should enter the input values in the command prompt itself. Say for example, if it's an add.java, minimum number of values that are required to perform add operation is at least 2. So that's the reason first value I'm accepting from the command prompt, second value I'm entering at the command prompt. So definitely your program takes these two values from the command prompt. The Java program takes values from this particular command prompt, and it is going to perform the logic on it is going to apply the logic on those particular input values, and it is going to return the result. Yes or no? So basically whatever the environment I'm using to run your Java application is nothing but a character user interface. Means I am, see for example, how can you analyze this? See, I am a user. So you have written a program, or I am a user, you have written a program. How a user can communicate with the program? How the user will be communicating with the program? So the user will be communicating with the program using your command prompt. So now here your command prompt act as an interface between the user and the application program or normal Java program, whatever you have written. So your CUI, that is character user interface, acts as an interface between the user and the program, Java program, what you have written. So now in this particular example, how can you define your command, that is character user interface is nothing but character interface. It's an application in which is being designed in such a way that it takes input. Your Java application takes input from the command prompt, and Java application, whatever the output it gives, that output will be again displayed on the command prompt itself. Your Java application takes input from the command prompt, and output whatever it generates, that output also will be returned onto the command prompt. Yes or no? Where your command prompt acts as an interface. Command prompt acts as an interface. This is one strategy what you can use to develop your Java applications. Correct? Now, the other way of developing, suppose same Java program I want to write using another approach, that is your GUI, graphical user interface. How do I do that? Say for example here, again I have written a program, say for example add.java for that. Now here I have created a graphical user interface. I created an interface here. Instead of giving the input values at the command prompt, here I created a user interface where whenever I enter the value, whenever the user enters the value, user will be entering the value into this particular GUI components. These are all your GUI components. Suppose add, your first value, second value, your boxes, whatever you can see on this particular window is nothing but your GUI components. These are the various, this is a label GUI component, this is the text field GUI component, this is nothing but your, say for example, a button. So all these are nothing but your various GUI components. So I have created a user interface like this. So wherein user will enter the input values into this particular GUI components. When I click on this particular add button, so my program should calculate the result, and result should again be placed on this particular GUI component itself. So now here, so which was acting as an interface between the user and the Java program, your command user interface or a character user interface was acting as an interface between your Java application and the user. But in this particular case, this whatever the user interface I have designed using the GUI components, this particular GUI whatever I have designed will act as an interface between the user and the application program or the Java program. So whenever I want to, whatever the Java application, if a Java application wants to accept the input, it is going to accept the input from these GUI components. Whenever the Java program want to produce the output, where will it sends the output? Again, your Java program sends the output onto your GUI components itself, right? So this is the second approach using which we can develop your Java applications. So how can you define your GUI applications? So it is nothing but a Java application that takes input from the collection of GUI components. It's a Java application that takes input from the collection of GUI components and provides output onto a collection of GUI. So it takes input from the collection of GUI components, and Java program produces the output. Whatever it produces again will be displayed on this particular GUI components itself. Here in this particular scenario, your GUI component, whatever you have designed using it, will be acting as an interface. Your GUI, whatever you have designed here, will be acting as an interface between the user and the Java program what you're going to develop. So now, so once we have understood what are the various ways in which we can develop a standalone applications, so hope so this particular concept is clear for all of you. So what are the two approaches? One is nothing but your character user interface or command interface, okay, and second one is nothing but your GUI application. These are the two approaches what we have to develop your Java standalone programs. Now, till now, whatever we have discussed and whatever the programs we have discussed till now, all the programs I have shown you using your character user interface or command based interface. Okay, we have seen all the program execution using the CUI applications. Now, at least from now onwards, let us try to develop your Java applications using your GUI. So from now onwards, we'll be discussing how can you design this particular graphical user interface for any Java program so that your Java program accepts the input from this GUI components and produces the output onto the GUI components. Okay, so that's what our interest here from now onwards is with respect to developing your GUI applications, not command based applications like this. So now, so as I told you that this already I've defined what exactly your character user interface or command based interface. It's a Java application which is designed in such a way that it takes input from the command prompt and provides output to the command prompt. Yes or no? So already these things we have discussed. So now we'll move on to the next one. As I told you that now our interest, our concentration should be towards developing Java applications which makes use of a GUI, which has a GUI interface, right? So Java basically to provide the GUI applications or whenever we want to develop GUI application, Java has provided three packages. Using these three packages, you can develop a Java GUI applications. GUI Java applications can be developed using these three packages. So which are those? Java AWT package, second one is a Swing, and third one is a applet. Using a AWT also you can develop a GUI Java applications. Swings, we can develop a GUI Java applications. Using applet, we can develop a GUI Java applications. So these are the three packages which your Java supports in order to develop any Java GUI applications. So now coming to the first one, let us discuss what exactly your Java AWT package. So once we finish that, then next we'll move on and discuss what exactly your Java Swing is. Okay, so how this Java Swing can be used to develop GUI applications. So first we'll start out with your AWT. So now, before we move on, before we try to understand what exactly AWT, let us try to understand what basically it provides. So AWT stands for Abstract Windowing Toolkit. This is a full form of it. What basically it is? Okay, it's a basically framework. It provides a general framework. So basically, it provides a good frame environment to prepare the GUI. Suppose if you want to develop a GUI application, it provides you an environment where it allows the user to develop the GUI applications. Now, what is this exactly? Why the name is called as an abstract? Why the name is nothing but called as an abstract? Say, for example, I'm going to develop a Java application using Windows, and I'm going to say run that particular Java application in Windows. Whatever the look and feel that I'm going to get for that Java application in Windows, okay, will be somewhat similar to when I run the same Java program in other operating systems. Say, for example, same Java program I'm going to run on a Mac operating system. So the look and feel, whatever I am going to get about the GUI will be same as when I run that same Java program on your Windows. Similarly, if I run the same Java program on, say, for example, Unix or Linux operating system, so the flavor, basically the flavor in which you're going to get the look and feel when you run your Java program, that flavor will be always related or it will always be native with respect to your operating system. Whichever operating system you're using, the look and feel what you're going to get about your GUI application, whatever you develop, the environment what you're going to get will be local to that particular operating system. The output will not differ from one operating system. The GUI what you develop, when you run that particular GUI, the way it looks, the look and feel of that particular GUI will be same across different platforms in which you're going to run. The flavor basically it sticks on to the local operating system on which you're going to run your Java program. The look and feel will not differ from one platform to the another platform. That's the reason this AWT first word indicates that it's an abstract. Okay. So what exactly this? It's basically a collection in order to support this particular thing. It has a predefined classes and interfaces that helps us to develop your desktop applications. And third point regarding your AWT is nothing but it's an API that's been provided by your Java. So basically it is used to prepare the Windows based application or a desktop applications. Okay, so now next thing we need to understand which are the different GUI components okay, that are supported by your AWT. Because the first concept what we are discussing is your AWT. Just we have discussed what exactly your AWT. So AWT is nothing but abstract windowing toolkit. So basically it provides an environment for the user to develop the GUI applications, okay, maybe desktop applications or a window applications, right? So now which are the different GUI components that are supported by your AWT? See something like this. See this particular example. See, this is nothing but a window. This is nothing but a window. Okay, this entire thing I can call it as a window or a frame. Next, I have a title bar. Okay, where you'll be having. See, this is like a normal window. The normal, whenever you open any applications, this is what basically you look. Basically, you'll be having. Here, you'll be having a closing symbol. Here, you'll be having a minimizing. Here, minimizing and maximizing, closing the window option. And this is nothing but called as a title bar. So below to the title bar, you'll be having a menu bar where you can find your file, edit, say for example, view, all these particular options. And when you click on a file, you'll have a number of options like say new, open, save. And say for example, if this is a login window, you'll be asked to enter the username, and a text box will be there where it allows you to enter the username, and you'll be having a password. This is a label actually, so you'll be allowed to enter the password value into this particular box, right? And suppose something like say your qualification, this is nothing but a checkbox. It's asking your BSc or MCA, and it's asking your gender. This is a label again, male or female. So these buttons are nothing but called as a radio buttons, right? So this again is user hobbies. So your your window wants to collect what are the hobbies of the user. Say to design the hobbies of the user, we have used a list. And similarly, here you have, say for example, drop down menu. Okay, when I click on this particular student, what are the options you have under that gets displayed? You can select any one of the option which you want. Similarly, this is a text area, and this is nothing but your registration equivalent to your submit button, and this is a cancel button. So normally, whenever you're using your, say for example, real time, in the real time, whenever you're browsing or whenever you're filling the forms, online application forms, hope so all of you have come across this particular windows where window will be having this various GUI components. These are the various GUI components a window can have. Like say, this is a menu, this is a menu item, see, this is a text field, this is a password field, this is a checkbox, these are the radio buttons, these are the labels, and these are nothing but a choice, right? So this is nothing but a button, and this is a text area where user can enter more amount of text, whatever he or she wants. So these are nothing but some of the GUI components supported by your AWT. So now once we have understood like what are the different components your AWT supports, so the next thing what we need to understand is nothing but, okay, where are these, all these particular GUI components? I told you that AWT has a predefined classes and interfaces in order to support the development of this particular GUI application. Now we need to understand which are those particular classes and where are those particular classes present. See, when you see this particular example or this particular diagram, you can understand this is the hierarchy, right? This is the Java class hierarchy. So at the top, you have the object in your Java, below to which you have a component. So using a component, inside the component, you can place a label, you can place a button, you can place a text field, you can place a text area list. What all the components just now we have discussed in the previous slide, all those things are predefined classes. So where are they, those predefined classes present? Under your component, and component is present under your object. And similarly here you can see that you have one of the important thing, that is container is there. Under the container you can design various things, that is a frame, your windows or your panels or your canvas. Again, under a frame you can have a number of GUI components. So this is nothing but the hierarchy of the classes. Suppose if I'm using list, if I'm using this list class is present under component class. If I'm using text area, or if I'm trying to create this text field, so I should know like where those particular predefined classes are present in the overall your Java class hierarchy. So that's the reason just I have shown this particular diagram in order to understand where exactly those predefined classes are present. Okay, so now what exactly a container? If I go to your previous slide, what exactly a container? Container basically contains a frame, windows, panels, all these particular things. Okay, so that's what basically I've given definition. What exactly a container? It's a GUI component. Yes, yes or no? It's a GUI component, and it is able to manage other GUI. See, I have, for example, I have a frame, or I have a window, or I have a panel. If you consider, say, window, if I consider a window, any window, so a window can contain n number of components. in real-time applications. Yes or no? A window can have a check boxes, a window can have a text box, a window can have a label, a window can have a drop-down menu, a window can have a button, right? So when I consider a window, it can have n number of other GUI components. Similarly, when I would design a frame, when I design any frame, so a frame also in turn can have all these elements like say label, your text field, your radio button, your checkbox. So frame or window or panel, whatever you're designing, okay. So these are nothing but a containers, okay. These are nothing but a containers. Your containers can contain n number of other GUI components like your label, like your text box, like your all those particular things. So now we'll discuss, we'll take one particular container that is frame, and we'll discuss in detail how can we design this particular frame. And I told you theoretically, a frame in turn can contain n number of other GUI components like labels, text fields, your list, your checkbox, radio button, all those things. Let us see with an example. Okay, what exactly a frame? It's a container. What exactly a frame? It's a container. So it will be able to manage other GUI components. That's what I told you. These are various other GUI components your frame can contain. Now the question is, how do we represent this particular frame? Okay, before I represent this particular frame, I should know where is this particular frame available. Okay, so this particular frame, if I'm using this particular frame in Java, I need to import this particular package because frame is present in a package java.awt.frame. I need to import this particular package if I'm making use of this particular frame in my program. Now, these are important things we need to understand. So why these are important things to understand is, say for example, I am going to develop an application. I am going to develop an application using your frame. So first and foremost thing, I told you that whenever I'm using frame inside my class, when I'm using a frame inside my class, what should I do? I should import that particular package. Which package I should import? Java.awt.frame. Now, once I import that particular package, so the next thing is nothing but I need to create objects for the frame. Okay, I need to create objects for the frame. So now the question is, how do I create an object for the frame? Okay, so how to create an object for the frame? So there are two ways to create the objects for a frame. One is nothing but without a title, and another way is to create the frame object is nothing but with title. Okay, so now suppose say I'll go for the second one example. Okay, if I want to create an object of this particular frame using the second syntax, I need to use frame because frame is a inbuilt class. As I told you that frame is an inbuilt class. If I want to create an object of that inbuilt class, how do I do? Frame reference variable is equal to new frame, and I'm using the second syntax here. So I'm using the string here. I'm using a string. See, sorry, by mistake, I'm not opened the double quotes. I'm supposed to open the double quotes here. Okay, frame gets created, but it will be invisible. So if I use only this much, my frame gets created, but it will be invisible to the user. Okay, so now what I'll do is just I'll open my, say for example, notepad. Okay, I'll open the notepad. I'll show you this how basically we can create this, so it will be easy for you to understand. Okay, so another one is I'll open my command prompt. I'll go to my G drive, CD collections. Okay, CD basics. I'll share you the screen once again. I know I have not shared the screen. I'll share you. Okay, so now what I'll do is I'll go here. Okay, I'll go here. So what is that I need to open? Okay, this particular thing I need to open. Okay, here what I'm going to do. See, I'm going to tell you how to create the frame. So I am going to use frame in my program. So since I'm going to use frame in my program, frame is a predefined class where in which package it's present. Okay, so I should import that particular package for the frame. Import, okay, java dot, which is present in awt dot frame. Okay, because I'm supposed to use frame here. Now I'm going to create one class. Okay, yes is the class I'm creating. Okay, yes is the class I'm creating, and what basically I'm going to do here? What basically I am going to do here is, okay, see what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an object. Object of which type? Frame type. So, okay, here frame, okay, something f reference variable is equal to say new, okay, new frame, okay, and one more thing I missed, that is main method. I should write public static, okay, void main. Say for example I have string args, okay, so now in that I'm going to create a frame object, okay, so new frame, okay, I'm supposed to create, I want to use a title, you can use a title frame or any object. The first object is without title, second one is with title. If you want to give it title, I'll give it as, say for example ISE, say BMSIT, if you want to give a title, okay. So now what happens, this is my program, the simplest program. What I have done is I have created a frame object class, okay, control s. So let me save this particular program. So what is that? S dot, okay, s dot java. I have given s dot java here, s dot java. Let us try to run this. Let us try to run this particular program. So I'll go here, okay, Java, yes dot Java, okay. So what is that? Yes dot, okay, Java C, I should give Java C, yes dot Java, okay. So it has compiled successfully. Let us try to execute this. So how do we execute? Java A, yes, right? See something you got like this Java yes, but you're not able to see anything. Right? So now why you are not able to see anything? Because in this particular case, the frame is created. In this particular case, the frame is created, but that created frame is invisible. The frame is created, but the created frame is invisible. Okay. See, since it is invisible, we have to make that particular frame visible. So how do we make that particular frame visible? To make the frame visible, okay, to make the frame visible, we have one of the method called as set visible. So what I'll do is say f dot. This is a method that is available. Okay, to make your frame visible, set dot visible. It takes a boolean value. If I give true, your frame will be visible. If I make false, again your frame will not be visible. Since in this case I want my frame to be visible, I am going to give a boolean value that is true. Okay, save this particular program. Okay, again run your program. Okay, so go back here, run your program. Okay, first I'll compile it and this one. See, here you can see that now here you can see that in this top corner, just I'll drag if possible. See, in this top corner you can see that some frame is there, okay, whose size is 0 0. The size of the C here at the corner here, in the corner here you can see that some frame is created, but the size of that is 0 0, means width and height of that frame is 0 0. See, that's what you can see here. Okay, so now what do I do? Okay, go back to your program. Okay, increase set the size for your frame. So how do I set the size for this particular frame? Okay, f dot, we have a method set size. I want to set the size with respect to the width and height. Say I'll tell 500 is the width and 500 is the height. That has to be that my frame size should be set to. Okay, now I'll say control s. Okay, now go back here, and again I'm going to compile the same program. Okay, I'll run this particular program. See, now the size of the frame has increased. To 500 width and 500 height. And whatever the title I've given, whatever the name I have given by setting the title, see the title as come ISC BMS, it is there, and your frame is visible, and the size of the frame has been increased to 50 width and 58 height. So your frame is visible now. Correct? Your frame is visible now. So just what I'll do is I'll go back to my program. I want to set some color to my frame because my color is white. I want to set some color. To set the color from my frame, so I need to use F dot because F is the one through which I'm going to refer to the frame, right? F dot, okay, set. Okay, what color? Foreground color or background color you want to set? I want to set background, okay, background, okay, color, okay, COLO or background color. And what should I give? So color dot. So any color you can give. Say for example, I'll give a color dot green, okay, color dot green I have given. Okay, so now what basically you're going to do here is okay, so control S, set this. Let me check if it has set the color. Okay, this is control C. Okay, so control C. I need to come out of this. Okay, stop share. Go back here. Okay, control C. Control C. Okay. So now what I'll do is Java is dot Java. You can see here. So I got a background. There is an error here. So we go back here. Background BACKGROUND. It is. Okay, spell mistake. Control S. Go back here. Okay. Go here. Compile a program. Okay. Compile a program. Again you have background color. Okay, what is that? Set background color. Set background color. Okay, this should be small in cap. This should be small case. So change this color, background color. C. Okay, background color. COLO. Yes. Control S. Stop this. Go here. Okay. Compile a program. Yes. Again one more error. What is that? F dot is telling variable color. Okay, so it is telling color of COLO or to set the background color, right? So what is that? Go back, check this COLO capital or small color. Okay, let me see. Let me see this. Control S. Okay, go back here. Run this particular program. Is it's doing this? See is that background color only. Just let me see this background color. Set set background color. Control S. Control S. See this. See this color. Can't find the symbol. Okay. So where is this available? Where is this available? I need to import the statement. Import statement. Okay. And write import. Okay. Import Java dot dot k event dot k star okay control S okay go back here okay and do this import control S here It's correct. Just try this. Start this. Next option. Standard. Okay. See Java. Yes, if you can see, you got a window. You got a window. The window color, what I've done is I've set to red. So you got this particular frame. This is your frame with whatever the properties you want you have set. Okay. So this is how basically you can create a frame or you can develop a GUI application. So basically you have developed a frame till now. Okay. So now I'll just close this. Okay. Go back here. So let me go here. Okay, so this is nothing but how you can develop a simple GUI application. Just now in this particular example only we have created the frame. Okay, hope so you people have understood this particular concept, how to create a frame. Okay, in the next class we'll see a couple of examples. Okay, a slight modification, what are the different programs we can develop using the frame, and what are the other GUI components you can add inside this particular. Okay, so we'll stop here and we'll continue in the next class. Okay, thank you everyone. Okay, if you have any doubts you can ask me.